Are you ready? We are going to do day 3 of our storybook card. We're going to work in Design Space today, and we are going to make our second card that's going to fit inside the one we made the other day. Now, just a reminder, you go to our countdown page and you get your supplies list and templates. And each day a new link is activated. So you should already see day 1 and day 2 activated, and now day 3. So we're going to be sending out notifications by email. As long as you have a free ticket or have an all access pass, you will get a notification. We will also post it to our Facebook page. So it's in 3 locations. And just remember, the last lesson will be on October 11th. And please post your project to your Facebook page, as we are looking at doing a draw for those that have taken the time to make their storybook card. Now, the supplies for today, we need a white cardstock for print then cut, 8.5 by 11 cardstock for the card. We're going to use glue. Once again, I use Barely Art glue. Now you need some sort of scoring device. So you can use a scoring wheel or a stylus. If you're using a joy, use a pen to mark the score lines and do them by hand later, and a scraper of some sort for making the folds. Now the templates we're going to use today are Thalia Turkey, Thanksgiving Table, and Love Peace. Those are 3 PNG files we're going to use for today's project. Now, one last thing, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that way you will be notified of everything that we are doing. So let's get started on today's project. Now, we're right here in Design Space, and we're going to do a couple of things here because we created something new on day 1. I'm going to use that from day 1 and all over to our new project today. So in other words, I'm going to copy from one to another. So let's go over to my stuff to start. And this is the one we had done on day 1. So I'm just going to open that. I'm going to customize it. Now, because I don't like to recreate everything all the time, we have 2 items that we created on day 1 that we want to use on day 3. So I'm just going to highlight both of these. I'm going to hit Control-C for copy. I'm going to go to New, and then I'm going to hit Control-V for paste. And that way I have 2 items that I do not need to recreate. Now, I'm going to make sure that you have that idea. So open up your project from before, highlight these 2 items that were in that project, hit Control-C for copy, or you can come up to Edit here and go copy, and then come to a new page for a new project and select Edit Paste or Control-V for paste. That way we don't have to duplicate the effort of recreating the background for the card or our little tab that we are going to use for our project. Now, for this particular project, we are going to need 2 of these tabs. So let's duplicate it. You can come over here and duplicate in the Layers panel, or you can hold down the Alt key and drag it over. And of course, the last one is Control-C for copy, Control-V for paste. Now we have all of the little make ideas right here. These are all we need to copy over. Now our next job is to bring in the 3 templates that we are going to need. So I'm going to click my uploads. Now I've already uploaded everything that I need. So here is our turkey. That is Thalia Turkey. And we want the kitchen. So I'm going to hit another click here for the next one. You don't have to hold down Shift or anything here. You just click on what you want. and then our Peace Love. So we have these 3 items we're going to put in the desktop. And as before, they're going to be pretty large when we put them in there. So let's hit add to canvas down here. Can you see my mouse? Yes. Add to canvas. Now they're going to be big. So once again, we're going to click away. I'm going to click on the first item here. And let's look at the sizing. It's 23 inches. Well, we don't want it that big. In this case, we want, let's make it 3.5 inches. And that shrinks it down nice and small for what we want. Now our kitchen, as you can see, it's too big as well. And it has a height or a width of 6. So we want to make this 5 inches. And that's going to fit on our card. 5 might be a little bit big, so let's make it 4.5. I'm just eyeballing, judging it. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let's move that to the side. We'll work on them again. And here's our little turkey girl. Now, she's obviously too big. So the maximum width we want to go for her is 3 inches. So let's click on the size here and go for 3 inches and just hit the enter key. And there's our turkey girl. So everything is pretty well ready except these 2 pieces. Now these 2 pieces, we have to use an offset. So let me just move this up out of the way. Let's go grab this turkey piece, the Peace Love one. And I'm going to hit an offset. And let's see what it gives us for an offset. That looks pretty darn good. It is simply going to be pasted into our card so we can apply it. I'm going to change the operation color to white. That looks really good. I'm going to grab them together and I'm going to flatten them. And that will give us a print then cut. I'll just move it out of the way. Now we need a print then cut in here as well, but we need a piece at the bottom for this one like we had done before. So first let's grab our offset and we'll just apply it. And I'm not going to change the color right now just so that we can add the extra piece. So let's just increase our magnification here so you can see this a little better. Let me just grab both these pieces. Oh, it didn't grab both. There we go. And I'm just going to scroll up here a bit, and that's so you can see what I'm going to do here. I'll just push this up. Now, right now, we want to play with just the offset. We want to be able to give it a little stand at the bottom. So once again, we're going to grab a shape. I'm just going to grab a square and we're going to make it a rectangle. So I'm going to unlock it. Now, I want to click on just the offset here, and I want to see what the width is. It says 3.498. I'm going to make this 3.5. It's just a little easier to see. Now I just see the 3.5 didn't go in there. Let's try it again. 3.5. That looks really good. I don't care about the height. The reason I wanted to have it even is because now when I click on the square, I'm going to give it a width of 3.5. Just a lot easier to handle. Now we need a 1/2 inch fold over on the bottom and about 1/4 inch, maybe a 1/2 inch on the other part of it. So let's just make this 1 inch deep. That looks really good. And I'm going to lock it into position. Now I'm just going to come up here so I'm at the bottom of this. But what I want to do is just grab a hold of the square and of course the offset. You can see it in the layers panel here. And I'm going to come here to align and center horizontally. That looks pretty good. I might just move this bottom one up a tiny bit. I'm going to use my arrow keys to move it up. I Don't want it too far. That's really close to the other one. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's grab our square. Well, it's now a rectangle. And shift click and grab the offset. Come down here to combine. And I'm going to weld them together because that's exactly what I want. Now, you can't see the Thalia drawing here right now. So I'm going to click on our new shape. And I'm going to change the color to white. And then I'm going to click on Arrange and Send to Back. And now we see our turkey girl here. Now the next thing I want to do is grab those together. I want to make sure they are aligned center horizontally. Perfect. Now I am going to flatten these. Great. Now, one little trick here. I can't see the white, but I need to leave this white. So in our background, you'll see down here where it says blank canvas. I'm going to click on it. Then right here at the top, it says color. I'm just going to give it a yellow background, and that is so I can see what I'm working on. I will change that back to white later. So let's click on blank canvas and change the color. All right, our next thing is we want to come up about 1/2 inch here, and we want to be able to put a score line. So I'm just going to move this down so it pretty well touches a line. It looks really close here. Perfect. All right, so let's grab a shape. You'll get used to doing this. And we want to rotate this 90. We also know that the width from before was 3.5. Now I want to grab this and I want to go to the center. I want it about 1/2 inch. Now I want to grab this and I want to make sure my score line is centered. So we're going to grab everything there, center horizontally. And that looks really good. Now we're going to click on attach. All right, let's zoom back out. Back to 100%. Now we are ready to cut and print everything. We have our turkey eater. We have our Love, Peace, Thanksgiving. We have our 2 dividers here. And if I can take a look at this one, these are the square piece. I'm going to change their color to white. And the next piece the same. Okay, we are ready to make it. Make sure you save this. And I'm just going to call this Day 3 Thanksgiving Card. I'm going to put it under my cards. I am going to save it. And now I'm going to click on this little check mark over here to get that to go away. I'm going to click on Make It. And it gives me what we're going to cut out. Now, the problem here is you'll notice that it has the material size 11.7 by 16.5. I need to change that to 8.5 by 11. And it looks like it threw this next one on the second page. Well, there is a way around that. I'm going to grab this and I am going to rotate it 90 degrees. Or get it as close as I can, eyeballing it. Looks really good. I'm just going to poke it down in the corner and it'll pop up where it needs to go. Now, because it has a cut over here, I am also going to move this. So I'm going to move the object, and I'm going to move it back to that first one. Now it came up here and it looks like it's going to fit just nicely right there. So everything looks good here for print then cut. We are using a full sheet here, which is absolutely fine. So that is ready to go. Now this second mat will absolutely disappear when we click on the next step. We have our two little tabs that we are going to just simply cut. We don't need to print a thing. You could actually put this on your print then cut page and use the same cardstock that you're going to use, or just use a small scrap. I want to now bring the card that we're going to do. This is number 4. We're going to move this card. We're going to move that object, and we're going to go to this one next door here, confirm. And I'm just going to bring it down. That way we can use one mat to cut both. This would be a medium cardstock, so you can pick any color you want when you want to cut it. I have our two little tabs here, and they will cut on a scrap, or you can cut it out of the same color as the card. I'm not too sure if they will fit here. Let's just drag them down. They will. Now you can have it at the bottom, so let's just move this up. Now, I could use 8.5 by 11 sheet here, but if I add the two tabs, I'm not going to be able to do that. But if I place them down here, I'm still below the 8.5 by 11. And there we go. Everything is ready to be cut. I'm just going to click continue here. And you'll notice now we only have the two mats. We have our print then cut, and then we have our score and basic cut. So we are ready to make this. So let's get everything cut, and tomorrow we're going to put it all together.